the way to the max.
We
Turned up by the way to the max.
We turned up, yeah.
Turned up by the way to the max.
We turned up, yeah.
Turned up by the way to the max.
We turned up, yeah.
Turned up by the way to the max.
Ay.
This shit slap, this shit black.
shit
Tell the
black,
DJ, won't you bring that back?
Bring
Turn
that
this
back.
motherfucker up, had the whole club smack.
Yeah.
Yo, but listen, but I say this respectfully. If that's what you want, just tell the truth about what it really is versus what it really isn't. Because some people love the fact that they can have this victim story and it's just some fairy tale Disney bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of niggas, I mean, in my network that's getting to the bag, nobody's gonna pull up on you in no motherfucking Kroger, ShopRite, a Giants, Safeway. Niggas is not, you know what I mean? Like niggas is usually ordering they shit now because niggas is trying to, you know, monetize their energies to really getting the bag and becoming high value in this society.
Nikki, money.
Wait, what's the question?
I don't know.
No,
I was going to say that's a lot to digest. That is a lot to digest. I mean, I'm definitely the type of woman that does not, reach out to men. I expect the man to make the first move at me. I've never taken initiation. I know there are women that do, and that's just a matter of perspective. I don't think that goes to say though that they necessarily will want the man that works at Chick-fil-A or whatever, and that there's nothing wrong with, I mean, because everyone starts somewhere, and to your point, if he's sitting there and his standards are lower, and he's at Chick-fil-A for 10 years and haven't moved or whatever, then obviously if she wants that man, then I don't know, that's just a matter of her standards or her needing to, I don't know, adjust or whatever. I don't know. Hold on.
You don't know. Just say you don't know, and that's it. Okay.
No, my sinuses are killing my.
Is that why you keep brushing your hair? Because your sinuses are acting up? That's why?
When I think of toxic masculinity, I think of something completely different, though. I think of guys who are controlling.
Yes.
As far as
that's another one too.
As far as it, applies to me. So I think of men who are controlling. Men who are overly aggressive. I like aggression, but like I don't like overt aggression. And then I also think of like just guys who it's like you were saying earlier, they want to have sex with as many women as possible to make themselves feel better about themselves. Now, there's nothing wrong with having sex. There's nothing wrong with having options. But I feel like it gets to a point where it's like, okay, you're not respecting yourself. You're not respecting any of these women. You're lying to everybody to get what you want.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, now, there's toxic masculinity in women too. Like women that like to emasculate brothers. There's a lot of those. That's a top form of toxic masculinity in women right there.
Toxic femininity?
Oh, you can't say that, man.
Say what?
You'll be a misogynist if you say that.
Bro, women are incapable of being toxic. What are you talking about, bro?
I get it.
There's no accountability. Accountability
is capable of being toxic. Everybody.
I was being sarcastic, but like so. I mean, if we're about to talk about toxic femininity,
the topic is toxic masculinity.
Masculinity.
Yeah, but when we talk about toxic masculinity, we have to understand that the opposite sex be doing the same damn thing, Nikki. Okay, so let the man talk. John, I've been quiet for too long. I've been letting y'all jibber jabber. JT been cutting out. Gabe, go ahead and talk about. Don't fucking bring it up.
I mean, toxic femininity, in my opinion, is pretty much, obviously the opposite of toxic masculinity, but I see toxic femininity in almost everything that I see in society. Even now, in my opinion, an example of toxic femininity is supporting women who are toxic because they're empowering. I saw an article of so why was I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be funny. I can't think of her name right now. Megan Da Stallion. Why was Megan Da Stallion having a sit down with a political figure like Maxine Waters? I've met Maxine Waters. last time I had a conversation with her was at Dr. Sebi's funeral, and we were having a conversation. I'm like, yo, like, why are you bringing, again, I'm not knocking Megan Da Stallion. She might be a political savant, but like, why are you having her on this platform to talk about issues that pertain to Black people? And why are women championing her in regards to, like, that whole conversation? Here's how the title of the article, it says, The Genius of WAP. The Genius of WAP. Okay, I get it. It's a dope song. I get it. But to sit there and say the genius of WAP, we as a community will sit down with political figures and we shall discuss the problems that plague the community. But first, we must discuss the genius of WAP. Wet ass pussy. I yield. I
yield my time.
No, I mean, as a guy that works, you know, there used to be a lobbyist and used to do other things. I mean, they're only doing that because they're trying to get a demographic of voters that don't even come out to vote ever. Like, these people don't fucking come out to vote, right? So the two main people in America that vote, you know what I mean, like almost at an all-time high, are people that are in unions and elders. Those are the two main people that really save a lot of elections, and everybody else that falters into that. But those are the two main people that they do background deals for, because usually if you're working a blue-collar job, you're part of a union. That means police, that means military, that means people that are taking out the trash. There's the people that work in city government. I mean, it's a slew of people all across the board that have these specific jobs and shit like that. So that's the reason why they're doing it. But at the end of the day, for the life of me, I don't understand how they're spending money on some bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Because literally Megan Da Stallion, I mean, you know what I mean, she's not marketed, because I don't know her personally, as knowing who her council person is. Right? You know what I mean? So like, what the fuck is that? So I agree with Gabe on that, but I even agree even if it was Future. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, what the fuck is this entertainer doing on here when they're marketing themselves as a drug dealer or a sex worker? Literally, you know what I mean? That is just, and even the whole sex work thing is a political construct with really no basis behind that, as far as the people that's promoting it to the masses of folks. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really divulge in that, literally it's places in America where sex work is legalized and stuff like that. So that's but they weren't, and why I'm bringing that up is that in the Megan Da Stallion situation, they weren't bringing that even into a factor of making that a law, taxing it. No, that was just, they just used her for popularity purposes at all costs.
Wow.
We're gonna make this Stallion. Go ahead.
Say about this. Okay, so first of all, sex work is work.
I'm
not saying that you didn't say that. I'm just saying my personal opinion. Sex work is work.
So would you tell your 14-year-old daughter to do it?
Hold on. And first of all, if at 14, I wouldn't be telling my daughter about sex, but I feel like guys all the time, it's like they want pussy, and it's like, what am I getting out of it? So I would definitely tell my daughter that if you have sex with somebody, make sure you get something out of it. Whether that's something that you want is money, whether it's a relationship, whether it's love, it's time, whatever you want, get something out of it. Don't just have sex to have sex. Okay, so as far as Megan Da Stallion goes, love her, love WAP, love the song. And what you just said about Megan sitting down with, I don't agree, but sitting down with Maxine Waters, it reminds me of something that I did a few months ago. So I did this PSA for voting. It's called Get Your Booty to the Poll. And it was a bunch of pole dancers and strippers, and we were all on the pole and we were promoting people to vote. Now, it was a lot of people who were like, well, what does pole dancing and stripping have to do with getting people to vote? And why do these people even have a voice? Because it targets a certain demographic of people who obviously are not voting. Now, I think that may be the same case with Megan Da Stallion. When we did it, we had such a huge outcome, and it was really to get people to vote in Georgia. And as you can see, you know, I'm not just saying that it was because of us, it was because of a lot of concentrated effort from other groups, but Georgia did flip blue this year. So I think that people are looking at different avenues right now of how to reach their target demographic, and you can't always use the traditional methods because obviously those traditional methods aren't working for the people that you want to reach. So I do think that it was genius that Maxine Waters did sit down with Megan, because now you're getting a whole whole different demographic. You're getting a whole bunch of people, especially Black people, really interested in politics. And I feel like I saw that happen so much since quarantine, and since we're all stuck in the house, and since, you know, the George Floyd murder and the protests and stuff like that, which is amazing. Like, I was never a political person, you know, so to do that PSA, like, I never thought it would have the impact that it had, where I had all these different news outlets wanting to interview us. And, you know, I had explained to them, I've never been a political, but it's just that this situation that's going on in our country concerns me so much that I want to do something. So I'm glad that Maxine Waters did sit down with Megan, and, you know, hopefully, you know, it helps other people who, you know, are fans of Megan to become more political and to, like, you know, get more active.
Hey, Nikki, were you paid to do that?
I was,
okay.
But I would have done it for free.
You would have did. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I truly don't believe that. But no, and let me explain.
So you trying to say I'm all about the money? Like, I definitely would have done it.
No. We live in America where you should be paid for everything. So
I mean, I believe that you should be paid. I should be paid for things, but I was surprised when I found out that I was even going to get paid for it, because I didn't. It was like a community.
I don't. Listen. I used to be a lobbyist, so I know that's. I mean, I don't want to disrespect you, but I just don't believe that last statement.
Well, you can believe whatever the fuck you want. That's the question I get. What I'm saying is, I didn't know that people got paid for stuff like this. So, like, that
people get paid. People get paid big bucks all the time.
That's what I'm saying. By doing this, it opened up a whole new world for me, because I didn't realize that people got paid to do stuff like this. Like,
I mean, well, I could see where Nikki's coming from, because I feel like as artists, especially, they kind of put them in a box, and so to think, I mean, Megan goes to school too. So it's not like she's just known for her ass at the end of the day. She actually does study. She does point out that she has a mind. So I do agree that it was a good promotional or publicity thing for them to do. So I absolutely agree with Nikki in that stance. I get your point too, 10 stacks. Like, why would they have someone who's known for shaking their ass next to talking to Maxine Waters? But at the end of the day,
no, I didn't say that.
So I'm the one that brought it up. Let me. So as far.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, not 10 stacks.
What's your video on, Gabe?
Oh, my bad.
Gabe, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
My bad. So JT.
Yeah.
So real quick, you said keep it real, right?
Yeah, of course. That's the whole point I brought you motherfuckers on.
Okay. Can I light my cigar?
I don't give a fuck. It's your house. I ain't there.
JT was smoking a whole.
JT be rolling
here, bro. Like, just do what you want.
Okay, good.
I smoke every episode of the podcast. Motherfucker, light your shit. Light your shit, nigga. I need you to bring out Gabe. I need Gabe in this right now. I need you to be. I need the Gabe that gets blocked on Facebook all the time and Facebook jail. That's what I need right now.
Facebook jail.
Nikki, can you name 3 female civil rights leaders who are below the age of 40?
You said 3 civil rights leaders who are below the age of 40?
Yeah, Black women. You know why I asked you that?
I cannot.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why you can't is because I can't either. I can't think of, I know some, I don't want to include Sister Soldier and Shahrzad Ali. They're much older. But the reason why I bring that up is because I don't know any either. You know, and so when it comes to finding people who can speak for our people, they retreat to these celebrities because they can control these celebrities. And I get what you're saying. There is some. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find the positive message behind using sex as a way to get people to vote. Did it work? I don't know. We all know that the election was kind of even people who okay, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want to like get too sidetracked because I'd be rambling. But I guess what I'm trying to say is there are other figures out there who could have made the same type of impact that they were gunning for, but they chose they chose Cardi B. I'm sorry, they chose Megan Da Stallion. Before that, they chose Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm trying to figure out just who exactly are they targeting, and why do they keep choosing people who are so divisive in the Black community when it comes to sexual promiscuity? Because I believe that's a form of toxic femininity. You know what I'm saying?
And Gabe, I wanted to get there too. You get into my next point. Go ahead, Monty.
No, I was going to say, I almost wonder if the reason they're using that community is because, you know, people who are following the younger civil rights leaders, they're already knowing what's going on. It's the people that do follow the Megan Da Stallions, the Cardi B's, that aren't quite tapped in. And that only makes me wonder that that's why they use those people to tap into a different.
Do they give a fuck? Do they give a fuck?
That's a question. You know, at the end of the day, the government, you know, everyone has a different stance on whether they trust them. Are they telling us lies? They may not care.
Hey, it goes deeper though than this. It's funny because my next thing I wanted to bring up was Megan Da Stallion. How y'all got to her, I don't know how, but it perfect segue. Hot Girl Summer. There was a plan behind that Hot Girl Summer. You know what it's about. You know, these women. We in a society where women are savagely sleeping with men with no emotion, and that's a dangerous woman right there. A woman that fucks with no emotion, that's some dangerous shit.
What's wrong with that? Y'all been doing it.
Yeah.
I knew you, Nikki. I knew you'd say that.
It's the same women that fuck with no emotions that, you know, at times find a hard time connecting with a man because they don't have no emotions to connect with him.
Well, I guess that describes me.
Yo,
I'm an emotionless motherfucker.
You are. I thought you would have changed over the years. I thought you grew a little bit, but maybe not.
I have grown, but okay. What I learned early on was like you have to separate your emotions from sex. Like they're not supposed to go together. Now, if you have an emotion for somebody, it can't just be because of the sex. It's because of, you know, whatever connection you have with that person. But I just find that a lot of people are just full of shit. So I do not allow myself to connect.
Damn.
I know Tenn's ready to come in.
I wanted to come in, but I'll let Tenn go.
Hey.
Because Nikki, I really have a lot to say as far as just your response, because I believe that's toxic. You know, I like.
Why should I connect to somebody that ain't shit? Like, why should I do that though?
Why are you fucking someone who ain't shit?
Because the dick might be. I mean, y'all fuck someone who got that wop, and
I don't
know that you don't want to be with her, but she got that wop. So
this is why I say all the time, bro. Like we always get to this point where we get into this drama, we get mad, we fuck with someone who doesn't have emotion, who's all fucked up. But if y'all just concentrate on yourselves and let things happen and find someone like, oh, who's intelligent, oh, who actually likes me for my emotions, and then y'all have sex with them.
What if you have consistent dick while you dating other people and looking for that one? Just saying.
You fucking.
But you can get consistent dick in a good man too. All toxic niggas don't have good dick. You know, there's some good quality men that got good dick too. You know.
But the fuckboys have the best dick. Fuckboys have the best dick.
I'm a.
Said it once. I'll say it again.
No, where do you get that theory from? Nikki, where you get that theory from? I'm curious.
Well, my friends and I were discussing that the other day, and I didn't think it was true till I really had to think back to everyone I had sex with, and I was like, yeah, the fuckboys really did have the best dick. It's just weird, but it's
most
like
fuckboy.
You don't always marry the woman who has the best sex. You might marry the woman that you're in love with and you like the sex and it's good, but it may not be the best. So it doesn't mean that the guy that I'm with has to have the best sex, but so far it's just been the fuckboys that have had the best sex in my experience.
Because
but have you fucked anybody other than fuckboys? That's the thing.
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, two of the guys were not fuckboys. Two of them were not. One was, but yeah.
Two, Nikki, you so the two out of, I don't know your body count.
I've been in 3 relationships, so only one was a fuckboy.
So,
but you're a sexually free girl, so 3 relationships don't equal to the amount of men you might have been with, though. So it's like, how do you know from fuckboys to someone who's not, if it's good or not? I'm just curious. I'm just trying to get your perspective.
Because we were talking about the best sex. So I'm just saying, out of all of the people that I've dealt with, the fuckboys have had the best sex.
Plain and simple. So my question to you next is, because again, we are on the topic of toxic and
masculinity, toxic masculinity.
Hey, that as above, so below.
That right there was toxic femininity.
Yeah,
right there.
I don't understand how, but
So let me ask you guys, because whenever we talk about women, I feel like there's a deep conversation because there's a science behind the origin of women, and I think a lot of people don't know the science. Now, I know for a fact they don't know the science. All right, let me ask you guys a question: what came first, the chicken or the egg? See, that's a deep question, right? Because people will say It's a philosophical question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? If you understood genetics, you wouldn't ask that question. All right. So who came first, the man or the woman?
The woman.
The woman came first. Do you guys know why this is so?
To reproduce.
Well, I mean, not necessarily, but the reason why the woman came first is because when you look at the chromosomes, the woman's chromosomes are bigger. You know what I'm saying? There is no way that a woman can come from a man's chromosome because it's just too small. You know what I'm saying? It's also not versatile enough. You know what I'm saying? So genetically speaking, women came first. All right. So when you look at today's society, that's been flipped around. It's been flipped around to the point where it says men come first. And I feel like that plays into the toxic masculinity and femininity on both sides because we don't truly understand who comes first, right? I feel like we've gotten the order backwards because of all the wrong reasons. A lot of people think that you get your DNA from your father. You don't. You get your DNA from your mother. Now, I charge people for this, but I'm giving it to you because we here. You know what I'm saying? We family rapping. You know what I'm saying? But if your mom ain't black, you ain't black. This is a conversation that a lot of people don't like having, right? But it's a conversation that needs to be had because, like I just said, you get your DNA from your mother, not your father. All right. And so, like I said, the reason why I charge for this information because it's charged information. It'll get people heated. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell by people the way people's hair grows if you black. You know what I'm saying? The way your hair grows, the biggest indicator if you black or not. You know what I'm saying? Like the Catch Me Outside girl. You know, what's the other one? Whoa Vicky. I think one of her parents are black. You know what I'm saying? But she looks white. Is she black? No, she is of African descent. That's the term you should be using. You're not half black. You're of African descent. Your color is white. If your color is white, I know South Africans who are white. You know what I'm saying? They don't call themselves black. They call themselves Africans, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you're mixed and your parents aren't black, you know what I'm saying, you are of African descent. You know what I'm saying? You're not half black. You know what I'm saying? So you have to accept that and move on. But I bring that up because that's what's leading into, in my opinion, a lot of the toxic behaviors in both men and women, right? We are vying for first without knowing who's truly first, right? If we know who is first, like okay, so I mean, I explained why women come first because of the genes. Well, what's the point of the man? Well, if you study Egyptian philosophy, you understand that the ruler of the hijab is the woman because the men were created to protect the ruler of the high house. The ruler of the high house is a woman. You know what I'm saying, meaning that the pharaoh was a woman, which means that men were created to protect women. Are men stronger? Yeah, we can debate that all day, but Serena Williams herself will tell you that even though she is top ranked, she says herself that she can't beat the top 100 men players. You know what I'm saying? It's not because, I mean, she probably could beat him in the fight. I don't know. Who knows? But like I'm saying, men are just built stronger. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that men are better. I don't want to like turn this into like a whole men bashing thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like, I guess what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is once we start to understand the order we're in and the role we play, a lot of the toxic behaviors, I feel like, will weed themselves out.
You need to be a professor. Montgomery College ain't hiring professors. You need to be up there. You know, you're a former alumni. Tell me you need a job.
Well, I was talking to this single mother, and I was giving her all this woke knowledge. And long story short, she asked how all this woke knowledge I had could feed her kids, right? And she had a great point. So I kind of took a step back from educating people on, you know what I'm saying, science and history and stuff like that. And I focus now on finance. But like, I mean, I feel like I need to find a balance between teaching people about history and finance, because I feel like it all relates, you know, but a lot of people need financial information. So I try to stay reserved for my other information.
That was really interesting though. Like I didn't know that about, you know, that any pharaohs were women, or, you know, I've always felt like women and men were kind of created at the same time, not necessarily the biblical version of things, but, you know, it's very interesting. Something that I want to dive into now that you brought it up. So thank you for that.
Of course.
Nikki, let me ask you something, Nikki. You something about men and emotions, like this man can do it, why can't you do it? Do you feel like if you became more softer as a woman that you may receive the love that you may be seeking, or are you even seeking love at this point because of your toxic femininity?
You know what's funny? Like one of my best friends says that I'm too soft now. Like I used to really be a beast. I would just go hard on niggas out in these streets, but you know I softened up a little bit. Yeah, I softened up, but I mean, I think everybody wants love, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the people that you're are dating or the people that you know are that person that you need to be with. So I'm just kind of like taking my time with it, just having fun, going out, dating different people, and when it happens, it happens.
Which leads me to what I wanted to say. Women who want to be there, women that will say, well, men can sleep with women, why can't we? But then still want the same respect from the men who looking for a wife. But he may not be looking at her like, you don't value your pussy. So why should I value you and have you part of my kingdom? You don't even value yourself because you giving it to this nigga, that nigga, you fucking the homies, the crew. Why should I value you?
First of all, a female should be able to fuck who she wants to fuck. But I'm not saying that I'm specifically that person that is going around and fucking a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? I just feel like, everything ain't for everybody. So just like it might be a nigga out here who's a hoe, it's gonna be another female who's a hoe, and then maybe they be happy together. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. So I'm just saying that for me personally, I don't necessarily tell every guy my whole sexual history or how many dudes I've been. That's really none of his business. But I don't present myself in a way that would make somebody think that, I'm just out here wilding. Because I'm not.
But you don't have nothing against women who are out there.
Not at all. I mean, guys have been doing this for so long, and it's like there's this game that makes women feel like you a hoe just because you go out with different females. I mean, like, look at Steve Harvey's daughter, right? She was going out with all these different guys, and then it was like all of a sudden, she got labeled a hoe, and it's just like y'all don't even know what she's doing with these niggas. Just because she goes out with them doesn't mean that she's sleeping with them. But even if she did, that's her business. But it's the point that it's like we get guilted into being shamed by men just because we're going out with a bunch of men, but y'all do the same thing. Y'all have so many options. Women really need to have their options. They need to have their players put in their rotation and figure out who's going to be the best person for you. Period.
So I mentioned that because, well, two things. First and foremost, I'm speaking on behalf of a group of people now. I am not part of this group of people. Well, I didn't mean to take my hat off. I just feel like just taking my hat off. But
yeah, it was very dramatic for no reason. But
I know, yeah. The main reason I put it back on. No, I'm not speaking for this group of people. All right, but I am not a hotep nigga. But
when you start off with "I'm not a hotep," I want to.
Nah, because as you've been talking, like, this nigga is he a hotep? Like,
I want to say I'm not a hotep nigga because like. They get a bad rap, you know what I'm saying? And
the LLC niggas.
Right? I've never, I'm learning the difference between the hotep and the Hebrew because we don't really know the difference. Some of us get them confused. There are so many diasporas of black people that, I really feel like y'all got to get hip. There's the hoteps. You got to know the difference between the hoteps and the Hebrews and the black.
Can you break it down to people who may not know what that hotep is?
Okay, so now, so a hotep is, now, well, you see, it's hard to explain because what we think a hotep isn't what a hotep is. All right. They think a hotep is somebody who says stuff like hotep or stuff like that. They believe in ancient Egyptian culture. They practice ancient Egyptian studies and stuff. But in actuality, they don't. This is why they're not really hoteps, because even though they're being labeled hoteps, they're not doing that thing that people think that they do. Because they're not studying the sciences that were being taught in ancient Egypt. They're studying the belief system that was created in ancient Egypt. So even though they're being called hoteps, they're not the real hoteps. They're not the people that we're referring to, right? So when I talk about ancient Egypt, I'm talking before these dudes, all right? Because these dudes because before religion, it was Gnosticism, all right? So when you take a look at people's belief systems, if it's written, it's before religion was created. It's after religion was created. Before it's Gnosticism, and people spoke using ideograms, not words. All right, people use ideograms. If you ever find any ancient messages from God or Jesus and it's written down, it's not from God or Jesus because again, back then people didn't read and write. They used ideograms. All right, so even if they did find ancient text, it'd be a ideogram. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, I forgot my point.
I know, you just be going.
The point is,
like cigar.
Hotep. I'm not a Hotep. I'm not a Hotep, but I'm saying, like, when you study that ideology and you study the role of men in that society, you know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, the men were there to serve the women. And so men tend to have a certain attitude and behavior around women. You know, it's genetically in us. That's what makes us automatically want to protect, because it's built in us, among other things, right? So to your statement, Nikki, you brought up, why can't women do some of the things that men do? You know what I'm saying? It's in men to do all that stuff you're referring to. Women can do it too. They're just different consequences. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you can't say something like women come first without placing a little bit of responsibility on women as well. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come first, so y'all have more power. Y'all have different types of power. So, like, you can't do the dumb shit we do, because that is fuckboy shit. Because even though a lot of men do that, a lot of men do look at other men and tell them not to. You know what I'm saying? I don't like, from what you're saying, it doesn't sound like women tell other women not to fuck other niggas. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that niggas tell other niggas not to fuck other niggas, because other niggas bitches, because there are consequences, the side effects. You know what I'm saying? I just knocked on my bishop. But
I think women do tell women not to fuck other niggas, but it just depends on who your friends are and who you're around. You know what I mean?
I feel like
it's just like, that's a very individualistic situation. You know, it just depends on the person that you're talking about. But I just I've never liked that.
Another form of,
where it's like women are only expected to do certain things, but guys can do it, like the double standard thing. I've never been into that.
Well, there's consequences. You know what I'm saying?
another form of toxic masculinity I wanted to say was men trying to fuck their homies' girls, always having the fetish of fucking their homies' girls. That's a form of toxic masculinity right there, because it's like you trying to flaunt your masculinity, like, oh, you got her, I could get her too. Just because you got her, I'm gonna get her.
Where these niggas at, yo? Like, where these niggas at, yo? Like, I don't surround myself with niggas like that. I hope none of my niggas roll like that, but goddamn, like, son.
No, I don't roll with niggas like I used to, though, but I didn't. I used to growing up, because I felt like I was always a bros over hoes type guy. So if a nigga fuck a girl I was fucking with or wanted to fuck with, I'm like, damn, but I'm like, well, it's still my nigga, though. And I've learned over the years that niggas like that really don't respect you. Yeah,
big facts. Big facts. They don't expect you to do that. But I was never raised on bros over hoes. You know what I'm saying? See, I was raised on Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill. So I was lucky enough to grow up in a household where women were treated with respect. It was only outside my household where I saw women getting called bitches and shit. So I had a different attitude towards women when growing up. So when I see women like Nikki, obviously Nikki, you know what I'm saying, you've been through some shit, you know what I'm saying? And when I hear women like you speak,
what?
When I hear women like you speak, I don't knock you. I don't knock you for whatever mechanism you choose in order for you to interact with men. That's your reality. That's what you need to do. I'm never gonna knock that, you know. But a lot of us weren't raised like that, and because we weren't raised like that, when we meet women like you, we're like, oh wow, you know, so we meet somebody who, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you're tall, you're intelligent. You say you teach people too. I'm pretty sure you got your shit together. If I look at you, you're an option. However, based on your profile and how you roll, you know what I'm saying? Like, you made it clear that I'm a possible option, but like, I know that now, okay, based on how she's rolling, I wouldn't want my girl to do that, but I can't get her to do what I want. So I might not even engage in her in the first place. And if I do engage in her, I'm going to come at her the way she expects me to come at her. If she expects me to be a fuckboy, so I'm gonna play the role.
But that's toxic masculinity right there, though. It's like, you can't get the girl to do what you want. You know what I'm saying? Why should she be doing what you want anyway? I think the thing is that we need to look for people who compliment us instead of trying to get somebody to do what we want them to do. That's the problem. And that's toxic masculinity. That's that control shit I was talking about earlier. And as far as you saying that I've been through some shit, like, what makes you even feel like shit? Like, I grew up in a 2-parent household, right? My parents got divorced. They both remarried. So I had a very stable, loving family background. Like, I never came through no crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? But I just think differently than a lot of people. Now, have I been through a lot of shit in relationships and in dating? Yes.
That's what
but at the same point in time, when I was growing up, My dad told me early on, niggas ain't shit. So I treat them accordingly.
That's toxic masculinity. Your dad masculinity, and you held on to that little bit of toxic masculinity, and you're exuding it. You're keeping it alive. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't shit. It's something I don't subscribe to either. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that we're all in the matrix. So whatever it is, we think of our people. Yeah, like I try to give my people a pass. Like I hate some of the shit black people do, but I try to give black people a pass first. You know what I'm saying? So niggas ain't shit is a philosophy I can't live by. I can't live by any philosophy that puts down my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Because like JT said, he thought bros before hoes. I never saw that either. You know what I'm saying? So like I come from a different side of the game. You know what I'm saying? The side of the game that wasn't tainted by the heartbreaks and heartaches. JT will tell you, I've been through some shit with some girls, but like even that shit was tame. Even that shit was tame. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never really dealt with no real heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, the last girl I dated, you know what I'm saying, was real, but like I haven't been through a lot of that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you been through heartbreak, motherfucker.
I mean, but the thing is, those like, bro, I mean, real talk. I ain't gonna say her name, but like a couple of the females that you and I know gave me closure. I told you, like they gave me closure.
Yeah, I know.
So even that heartbreak that I experienced, they were able to heal it. So like again, I didn't go through that barbed wire fence like most people did. So again, I come from a different side of the game, and that's why I try to approach it from a positive aspect. Again, Nikki, I apologize if you felt like I was assuming anything about your past. I don't want to say that. I didn't mean to like address like your family issues or anything. I'm saying like I was just talking emotionally because if I see a sharp blade, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna say, oh, it's not being used. You know what I'm saying? If I see the sharp blade, I see the hilt. You know what I'm saying? I see how it's worn down. Like I see how the shit works. It's been used. So I'm not you've been used. I mean, like I like swords. I like swords. I'm comparing you to a sword, but like I'm saying, like I know a sword that's been through battle, right? And so when I said that, I meant to say that you're a sharp sword, and the reason why you cut is because you've been through a lot of battles, and you can't be dull. You know what I'm saying? You can't be caught slipping out here, especially with all these fuckboys around, like you said. So I understand why you sharp. You know what I'm saying? But like the greater swordsman, sometimes he would turn the sword backwards, because if you swing your sword backwards, even though the front is sharp, backwards, even though you swing as hard as you can, you will never kill a person. You just knock them the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love your approach, but I think you should turn that blade backwards and start knocking motherfuckers out, and then seeing if they're worth it, as opposed to just
the wisest shit Gabe said all day. You can tell Gabe watched a lot of anime. The way he
I was gonna be like, oh, okay.
Monty, what you feel over there? You've been quiet. I want to get your perspective on what you.
I will say my perspective once I want to jump in to say my perspective. What'd you say?
I said once she finds it.
No, not when I find it. When I
been a lot of
say it
happening, so it's hard to just be like, okay, so Kyra, what do you think, nigga? I don't know. I just heard a whole.
Yeah, like don't put me.
I don't know what I think. I need time. I need time. A lot going on.
I'm waiting for Tenn to come back on because I want to talk about this one topic.
Did we scare him away? Did I scare him away?
Tenn's listening.
Nah, you ain't scared Tenn. Well, he probably handled some things. Right? He said scared.
No, like.
It was one thing I wanted to address that you said earlier, right? So, one of my friends, right? I just found out that he's had sex with every single one of his girlfriend's friends. Can y'all break that down for me? For why a man would have sex with his girlfriend's best friend?
Why would your girlfriend's best friend try to fuck your man the day before his wedding? Now,
that happened to you?
No. It happened to somebody I know. I was about to say his relation to me, but like no, somebody I know.
I've seen that in the movie too.
Like his homegirl. Like I don't know if it was a test, but his homegirl tried to hook up with right before the day before the wedding, and like after the wedding too. I'm like, yo, like either she's testing him, which I mean twice, but like I don't like guys having sex with all your girlfriends is an accomplishment. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But like girls doing it, like what's the intention? I just want to know. Because I know
you know what? I want to know because I was dating somebody and then like I guess one of my friends secretly liked him or whatever and was kind of upset that like he was dating me and not her, whatever. So once she found out that we weren't dating anymore, she went and slept with him. And I was just like, why would you do that? Like, to me, that was some snake shit. But she didn't. We made up. We're still friends. But I was just like, I was kind of in my feelings for a minute. Not that I still had feelings for him, but I was just like, that was just kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you meant during. Was it after? Because
no, she waited until after. But the thing was, she was like, you know, are you still seeing so and so? And I was like, nah, you know, we just friends, we cool or whatever. And then after she found out, she went ahead and slept with him. But she didn't tell me until much later. I guess she thought I was gonna be upset about it or something. But I was just upset over the fact that, like, why would, like, it was just kind of a funny thing to me. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I would feel the same way. No. I mean, I don't even trust most of my friends. I don't, like, I love my friends, no disrespect to my friends that are watching, but my mom always told me never trust a woman or anybody 100%. You know what I mean? So I feel like if one of my friends, you know, you're good for being her friend again, because if one of my friends did that, I would have been like, nope, that's it, no more. But I don't know.
I mean, this was like a really good friend. And so I was just like, I didn't know how to take it at first. I was like, wait, why? But, you know, we made up and it's all good. It wasn't like it was my man. So, you know.